This is Pete Feenstra on Tuesday the 27th of November for GetReadyToRock.com, talking to the guitar player, guitar maestro, video producer, composer, all-round legend, Mr. Uli Jon Roth.
Hey.
It's fantastic to have you here playing a club gig, absolutely fantastic.
My pleasure, looking forward to it.
And for all you viewers out there, I've just asked him, I didn't know, this is the Sky guitar, one of many I guess.
One of several.
One of several. Is this one of the ones that you actually built?
I'm not building them myself, but they're on the market. It's a limited edition.
And they're to your specification?
Yes, and that's one of the ones.
Yeah. It's a magnificent beast.
It is quite a beast, actually.
Gives you backache, I guess. No,
no, it's just perfectly normal weight.
Yeah.
Luckily.
Let's talk about your career, which has been all-encompassing. You don't seem to stay still for any length of time. You started off all those years ago. Scorpions, obviously, for a good few years. Moved on to Electric Sun. Was it always your intention to move on to another project?
Well, with Scorpions, the clock had just come to an end, kind of. You know, I mean, I just go to where I think I should be going, and Scorpions was great for me for X amount of years, and then I had a feeling I needed to, you know, have a little bit more space to experiment, because Scorpions were getting very commercial, and within that framework you really don't have much chance to be quite that free, you know. And I valued my artistic freedom more than the big success, you know, so that's why I made that choice, and you know.
And I think that's why people have always followed you, really.
Well, it's just a different way of thinking, you know. It's pretty much the way I am, you know.
Yeah. But you've been consistent in doing that, because you've done so many different projects, and a bewildering number of projects.
Well, not that bewildering to me. Don't forget, I've been around for a long time, you know, and who is that? I mean, hello, we're doing an interview.
Sorry.
Just carry on.
I've got somebody trying to break in the room at the moment.
Yeah, it was...
anyway, you were saying,
so I've been around for a long time, and that's why I've done a lot, really, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just one of
We've got a typical rock interview with a drummer. Absolutely. At least it's live. You can see it's live, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Hello.
Once it's 15 minutes of fame, you just got it, you just sat. We'll carry on. Anyway. So you went on to
Electric Sun.
Electric Sun was the next step along the way.
Electric Sun was the next step, and that was kind of like a 5-year journey, and it was similar in the sense that I felt there came a point when I needed to do something completely different, you know.
You played with Clark Bunker, of course?
Yeah, for a long time. For a long time, yeah. Great drummer, whatever happened to him?
He went to Peru for a while, came back, came back, formed a band called Paul Mouth with Jackie McCauley, did very well. And he's still out there somewhere. He plays with Anderson now and again, so that's good. That's good news.
He was a really good friend and a great drummer.
Now, when you were with that band, you dedicated all those albums to different people. Do you want to tell everybody about that?
Not really.
Okay, I'm going to do it anyway. One of them was Martin Luther King, one was Jimi Hendrix, and one was Anwar Sadat, which was an interesting choice.
You know more than I do. You're absolutely right. Well, now that you're putting such a fine point on it. You know. No, the first one I dedicated to the spirit of Jimi Hendrix, really, because it was a time when I felt I wanted to explore what can be done in a 3-piece environment, you know, and so I went back to those kind of roots. Having said that, I did a 3-piece album, but in the end I played a lot of overdub guitar, so it wasn't really actually a 3-piece, you know. It was a 3-piece live. But very soon I got sick of that format, because I wanted to hear harmony behind the leads, you know, and so I wanted to hear keyboards, etc. So we brought in more players on stage, you know. Second album was, it was dedicated to Anwar, so that was because I thought he was a real visionary and very inspired man, contrary to some of the stuff that's going on now in Egypt.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Yeah.
Although I guess some people might disagree, but I did read his autobiography, In Search of Identity, and you know, it just struck a real chord with me back then. And yeah, because his life was a complete journey, you know, and he transformed himself, and he always tried to do the right thing, and you know, and he managed to make peace with Israel, which was unbelievable.
And how did you translate that into your music?
I didn't directly, but it was an inspirational factor, certainly, you know.
A conceptual thing.
Yeah, and same was true of the third album, you know. Anyways.
And then further down the line you ended up with the Virtuosos in G3, of course. Reunited with Michael Schenker, amongst others. Was that good for you?
Yeah, I enjoyed that tour. I mean, that was really the first tour that got me back into touring, because I hadn't toured for about 13 years.
Yeah, that was a long time.
I only did a handful of shows, some of which were with orchestras, you know, but there wasn't any touring.
Is that when you first started with orchestras and the symphony?
No, the orchestras I started in the very early 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't do any touring, and the touring came. It returned really on the back of that tour with Joe Satriani.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah.
And of course, we all know you reunited with several Scorpions members. Later after that, you did various shows, and which came out as DVDs.
Quite a few reunion shows.
Yeah. And when did you throw yourself headlong into the symphonic work?
Well, as I said, that started really in the at the end of the 80s. It started after the end of Electric Sun, which was in '85.
Right.
And then I started writing concertos, and I wrote a big concerto for sky guitar, and it was cleverly called Sky Concerto. Obviously, I only know one word, but yes, and I finished it, but I never recorded it.
Right.
But that was the reason why I came up with the idea of the 7-string guitar, because I wrote some weird runs, you know, which you really you need that extra string, and that's why I had the 7-string guitar made for that concerto, which never got recorded. And then one thing led to the next. You know, I got the offer to do a big orchestra show in Belgium, the Brussels Symphony Orchestra, and there was a big choir involved.
Was that a daunting prospect for you?
I wouldn't say daunting. It was certainly extremely challenging. You know, because I had never done anything on that scale. I don't know. I mean, it should have been daunting, really.
You took it
hard to take it on, and somehow we pulled it off, you know.
Right. And
that opened a whole new
vista
for me. Yes. Really.
But right now, I just need to quickly mention the fact that it's the 27th of November, which would have been Jimi Hendrix's 70th birthday. So I guess you're going to throw in a little bit of Jimmy tonight.
We're always playing a little bit of Jimmy, because I like to reconnect with the source of rock. You know, and to me, it's very much, if there's like an electrical outlet, his stuff is coming right through the wall, you know. And so it's good to reconnect with that and keep that fresh and never forget where it all kind of started. At least for me, you know.
Well, people associate you with Hendrix, of course.
Yes, and it's always been part of my journey, even in the classical, you know. And so, but today I think we're going to play a few more of these, you know.
Okay, that's great. And do you want to tell everybody what your current recording project is, so they can go out and check it out?
We're doing, well, it's not yet in the market. No, it's not even recorded yet. But there are two things on the horizon. One is a live album, which will be celebrating my 40th anniversary with the Scorpions next year. So we're doing an American tour, and we're recording that live. And that will be a double live album, just playing, like reinterpreting that
All
kind
the
of
stuff
stuff,
from before, yeah.
like my favorite
Yeah.
stuff from my era.
Yeah.
And in fact, I want to do the same with Electric Sun a couple of years further down the line, because I don't really have an official live album, you know, although I've appeared on things here and there.
For sure. Here and there.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know, and but apart from that, I'm looking forward to recording a studio album, which I've written, but I've not actually started recording it yet, you know, but that should be as soon as I can get my act together.
And out of all of your back catalogue, which is your favourite album? People have been asking me.
Well, you know, I don't really have a favourite per se. There are some that I like more than others, you know. Of the Scorpions era, my favourite is Virgin Killer and Entrance, and the Electric Sun, definitely Beyond the Astral Skies, and of the stuff afterwards, which came out in bits and pieces, and most of it hasn't even come out yet, although it's been written and partially recorded. I would say my last one, Under a Dark Sky, and Prologue to the Symphonic Legends.
And you should check them out, people. It's great. It's been Pete Feenstra talking to
Hey.
Uli Jon Roth. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's going to give us You're also doing a gig at the Boom Boom Club on the 2nd of December, which is a kind of early Christmas present.
How far away is that?
From here, 10 miles,
Oh, wow.
15 miles or so. Different crowd, just as
An
enthusiastic.
hour of London traffic.
Yeah, another hour of London traffic. Been Dennis on the camera. Thanks very much, and good evening.
And Jamie on
Jamie was
speaking us.
And Jamie's sneaking in.
Owen Gordon.
Owen Gordon, the door.